Sean's Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. Just got back from vacation and did all the ketchup, and I'm ready for a beer, let me tell you. So I've dug one out. This one's a little older again. Probably one should have been had fresh, but you know, I just had to do this because it's a collaboration and has a favorite brewery of mine in here. So here's the beer. This is Uknown IPA. This was a collaboration from Stone. This was actually bottled on May 23rd of 2015. So we're about a year behind here. Today is July 1st of 2016. This is a collab that Stone did with Ecliptic Brewing out of Portland, Oregon. That's one of the reasons I wanted to try this. John Harris being the brewer. He's the co-founder and brewmaster there. Great brewery here. And the other is one a friend went to recently, my friend Wally. It's Wicked Weed. And it was Luke and Waltk Dickson who the co-founders and brewers for that brewery. They're out of West Asheville, North Carolina. And Wally was just down there. So this is kind of a unique beer. They decided to brew two beers together, a Belgian Triple and a West Coast IPA. It's 1/4 of the Belgian Triple. Now this Belgian Triple was aged 4 months on barrels that were originally housing red wine and then tequila, second use of tequila. And it was blended with 3/4 of the blend being fresh West Coast IPA. So let's get this one cracked open. All right, here we go. Got the pour, still nice bubbles rising up. This is kind of an amber color, amber orange I would say. It's got a nice one finger head, just an off-white color. Yeah, amber orange, that's a pretty good description. Let's get the nose. Wow, some unique aromas coming off of this. Okay, and it has some age, so we know those hops are gonna go through some adjustments. The hops in this, by the way, are Magnum, Styrian Cilia, Amarillo, Calypso, and Jarlow. And it is 9.5% ABV and 72 IBUs. By the way, we have an audience today. We've got about 8 geese just outside the yard watching this. I don't know why, but they seem to like beer reviews. So what's interesting is you get a lot of the oak character on this. You really do. You get this like smooth oakiness, and I feel like I get more of the tequila aspect than I do the red wine, but I think there's a hint of that red wine in there. But I'm also getting like kind of like a honey-esque, you know, it almost smells like it's kind of thick and syrupy in a way, but it's a nice honey. And you're getting some tropical flavors, like a light tropical, hints of citrus on there. A little bit of some stone fruit on there. It's kind of like bready and biscuity, a little bit of that triple kind of feel on the breadiness. Boy, I'm getting some other things. I get some interesting orange, but what's really odd is I feel like I get like a light amount of brown sugar. No, not brown sugar. Turbinado sugar. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'll bet you they did put some in here because that's something that Ecliptic does do. I've seen that on a few of their beers, and it's a trait that some of the Portland brewers do, like Gigantic does it as well. Yeah, just a little bit of woodiness and earthiness, but you can tell there's a barrel character on it. It's very interesting. We're gonna just jump in. Cheers. Wow, that's fun. That's really different. Even after a year plus, there's a lot of great hop character on this. Man, it's super tasty. I gotta tell you, it's interesting. You get a light bit of tannins. You definitely get that oak character. You're definitely picking up kind of like a tannic tequila, like the tannins from the wood, and it's almost a vanilla-ish type flavor coming from that oak as well. But I get more of the tequila, just a hint of the wine on it. But I'm blown away by how much oak character is still on this, that the whole barrels and everything going on there. I can't imagine what this would have been like fresh. Would have been really fun, although probably the hops would have been so much brighter. The hops are still there. You still got some nice hop character, but you're getting a light bit of that tea type characteristic too, which is just fine. It makes me think of a potpourri of tea. Like I get some rose type character on it. I'm just getting the lightest hint of like some pineapple on it. And I get a nice caramel on there. Maybe a hint of toffee. I don't understand any of those flavors coming from this style of beer per se. I don't know that I usually get toffee from a triple either, but that's kind of how it's coming out in this mix. It's quite bready, a little bit of biscuit, but boy, nice breadiness to it. And it has a good carbonation, which is characteristic of a triple. You get a bit of the resin character coming through and an ever so slight dankness to it. Not a heavy resin, but it's there. There's a little bit of a grapefruit rind, very light, but it's in there. Like I say, hints of tropical. Wow, this is just very unique. It's very fun. Even with this age, I'm kind of really digging on it, if you couldn't tell. All right, I'm going to take a little time with this and I'll be back. All right, I've taken a good amount of time with this. I'm enjoying it. It's just now, it's getting a bit more syrupy and very sweet. I'm going to go pretty much with everything I said. I think the caramel flavors are coming out much bigger as it's warmed up. Because of the barrel aging on this beer, and that barrel being quite unique, only a quarter of the beer was barrel aged. That was the triple, but it was a barrel used for red wine and then used for tequila afterwards. I would like to have tried that tequila, you know, right? So you take that, a quarter of that, and then a juicy West Coast IPA. You're going to have something I'm going to dig on, and I am, even over a year later. All right, how are we going to rate this one? They are calling this an Imperial IPA. I think that's the correct thing to call it. It just has influences, nuances of that triple on there, Belgian triple. I'm going to go probably higher than most people think. 91. That barrel aging with the sweetness and everything else, it's just a beauty. I know that you can probably find this on some shelves someplace. Overall, I'm going to shift just down a little, but not a ton. It's going to go into the very good category. It's an 89. It's a beauty. Here it is again. It's the Points Unknown IPA. It's still out there. I'd say grab one. If you're a beer lover, I say check this one out for sure. This is Kevin at Columbus Homebrew saying life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you on the next beer review.